This is the 442 podcast.
Welcome to the 442 podcast. We are coming off of the Champions League quarterfinal. It is concluded now, so we know the semifinal. Villa did get knocked out by PSG, which is unfortunate. They put up a good fight, though. It was 5-4 in aggregate. What do you think of that result?
Surprising, yeah. I thought PSG was going to take that. I mean, actually, I think I may have, it's been a while now because we had a little break with spring break and whatnot. But I may have picked Villa over PSG. But on the night, they did really well. I mean, I was surprised. I mean, definitely gave PSG a game, and as it was, it could have gone either way. You know,
It was very close, and I mean Villa won at home 3-2. So I was surprised. They put up a really good fight. It was super close. So unfortunate that they got knocked out, but I mean they can't really complain. I think it was a great run, and PSG has proven that they're probably one of the strongest teams in the competition. I mean they've knocked out Liverpool now and Villa, so they've been rolling, and they're gonna win the French league as well. So they're definitely on it. And then the Dortmund Barcelona, I mean it was pretty much over because they won 4-0 at
but they
home.
put up a fight at home, Dortmund.
They did.
Quite a surprise on the night.
They won 3-1, so good for them. 5-3 aggregate. So we both predicted Barcelona to go through on that one. So
Yeah, that was pretty straightforward.
pretty straightforward for them. And then Inter Bayern, that was a really toss up. It was hard to call.
Yeah.
And Inter just barely, they snuck through. They won 4-3 on aggregate, ended up tying the second leg. What do you think of that result?
That was interesting. I mean, I think we both picked Inter to go through, but Bayern put up a pretty good fight, and they were in a good position.
Yep.
And then I think it was 2-1, so it could have gone to overtime, and then they got a late winner, Inter, to tie the game to go through on aggregate. But they put up a good fight. I think Kane scored. Dyer had a clearance off the line. A couple of English guys in the German team, and he scored. So on the night, you had Harry Kane. Dyer scored and cleared off the line. So, but I think we did predict after the first leg that Inter was going to go through, and they did.
They did secure it. So Bayern is knocked out, and then it was really great to see the result we wanted. It did happen.
Yeah.
Arsenal did knock out Real Madrid. They ended up winning 2-1 in Madrid, which is crazy. I didn't think they were going to beat them because they didn't need to, just with how dominant they were in the first leg.
Oh, yeah.
And so the total aggregate for that leg, or for the matchup between Madrid and Arsenal, was 5-1 Arsenal, which is crazy that Real Madrid was only able to score one goal.
And that was a giveaway. That was a mistake by Arsenal.
Yeah.
Basically. Otherwise, it could have easily been 2-0 on the night. But they dominated. It looked so good. I mean, I know the penalty was a mistake, and we worried about that because we said, Odegaard stood over the ball. I'm thinking Odegaard's going to take it. He's the penalty taker. Saka has taken penalties, but he's been out for months. But Saka went up, and we both said he's going to miss, and sure enough, he did. I can't believe what he did, Panenka. So that was a surprise, and a horrible Panenka.
It was really poor effort, and we both knew he was going to miss. You just had that feeling that he was not confident, and he's missed some big penalties now for England and Arsenal. So I don't know if I trust him quite as a penalty taker. Obviously, he's a great player, but not the best penalty taker, not the best track record right now. So
unfortunately, he did get a goal, so
he did score to make up for it.
His confidence.
Yeah,
but that was ugly.
Not a good penalty. Yeah, not a good penalty at all. And Madrid, poor performance, very poor. They should have been knocked out by Atletico, so now it's just secured. I'm glad.
I'm glad they're out.
I'm glad they're out, so I will be rooting for Arsenal. So now we know the semifinal matchups. Yeah. So it's Arsenal versus PSG. What's your prediction? Who you got going to the final?
I have Arsenal, actually. I mean, I think I've voted against PSG pretty much every time. So I hope I'm not jinxing Arsenal, but I'm a Chelsea fan, so I'm not really an Arsenal fan, but I think they deserve it. They've played really well. So much better than in the league as well. I mean, I know they're in second, but they're way behind Liverpool. That's pretty much over, bar 3 points, right? So, I'm going to predict Arsenal because obviously Villa did give PSG a good game. Mm-hmm. And Arsenal's a better team than Villa, as well as the form that Villa's having right now is really impressive. But Arsenal's in second. They pretty much got that locked down. So I think they definitely have an opportunity. I think the first leg is at Arsenal, is it? Or is it?
Yes, it'll be, at Arsenal for the first leg.
Okay. So if they can do what they did to Real Madrid, to PSG, Declan Rice will get 2 free kicks. No, I doubt it. I mean, I don't think we were talking about that. He'd never taken a free kick before.
Or he's never scored.
Sorry, never scored.
Never free kick goal, and then he scores twice.
2 amazing goals.
Yeah.
From free kicks. So that was a surprise.
Ridiculous. But yeah, no, I agree. I think you saw from the PSG Villa matchup that you could see PSG's weaknesses and where you could expose them. And Villa is, probably not quite the team that Arsenal is, not the experience, and they were able to expose those weaknesses in PSG. They could break them down on the counterattack. You could really see that, PSG is a great team, but they're not invincible. You can score against them. You can break them down. So it's definitely possible, and that's why I think Arsenal is going to go. I think they're going to do it. I think they're going to make it to the final finally. I know a lot of people think this is PSG's final, like they're finally going to do it after all these years of having super teams and so much failure in the Champions League. But I think it's going to be close, but I'm going to pick Arsenal. I think
it's going to be close, definitely, but I'm going to pick Arsenal as well, and we'll see what happens. And Saka now, I mean, I know he missed the penalty, but he did score a nice goal, and he's so important to that team, and now, he's going to be fully fit and ready, raring to go, and confidence after this goal, and he fits in so nicely with the way they play. I think even Havertz, so even though he's not the greatest forward in the world, and was it Marino has played
the center back?
Yeah. So I think overall,
he's been good though at forward.
He really has. I mean, he's not just scoring, but he's
setting up.
He's setting up other players, and so I think it was him that set up Martinelli on the second goal for. I know it was late in the game and it was a counterattack, but Martinelli, after playing the whole game, he had so much juice to go. He was flying down the pitch.
Oh yeah,
and perfect ball to him and scored. So yeah, I think Arsenal's going to do it. At least get to the final. And then I'm predicting they'll play Barcelona in the final,
and then lose in the final,
and lose to Barcelona in the final.
That's kind of my prediction. That's kind of how I'm feeling too. But I feel like you've seen the maturity of Arsenal and like the maturity from Arteta as a manager, because before they had a lot of failure in the Champions League. Obviously, Arteta and all the Arsenal community and Arsenal fans are very hungry for silverware. And they're not going to win the Premier League this year because of Liverpool.
That's right.
So I think they're showing how they handled Real Madrid. That just shows they are definitely a lot better now. And they're going to put up a good fight against PSG. So I'm really excited for that matchup. I'd like to see a shootout out of that matchup. I think it'd be entertaining.
Would Saka take a penalty then?
I think he would. I think he would.
Score this time though, hopefully.
Because they don't have that many players who are like clinical finishers. And obviously he's probably their best finisher. So you would expect him to make a penalty. But he's missed some big ones. So
he has.
I think that would be his time to get redemption. If he misses in that shootout, his penalty days are over.
Oh, yeah. He's never coming back.
He's never coming back. So, yeah, I'm very excited for that matchup. And then the other semifinal is Barcelona versus Inter, which both teams are top of the league for both their leagues. So it should be a good matchup. I think Barcelona will go through just because of the experience, slightly better quality than Inter. What do you think?
I think so too. Yeah, they're players. I mean, I think they've played so well. They're on track to do it, and I was surprised by Inter actually. I mean, I know they're in first place in Serie A, but that's not the strongest league, and the competition even in Spain is higher. Germany, and obviously the Premier League. So I'm surprised an Italian team's there and no German teams are there. So
yeah, it is surprising. It could. You never know though. Inter's a great team, so they're probably the underdog going into this. So if they do sneak through, they don't have the expectation that Barcelona fans are going to be putting. They expect Barcelona to be there every year. So it would be cool to see Inter go through, but we both probably think Barca's probably going to do it.
That's what I'm predicting.
Yeah. So Barcelona, Arsenal final, and then Barca probably wins, but we'll see. Never know.
So, yeah.
You never know. So we'll.
Strange things happen.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting. So I'm super excited for that. And then the Premier League has been very interesting. We've known for a while that Liverpool is most likely going to win the league. It hasn't been confirmed yet, but Arsenal's they've just been slacking in the league. So it's going to happen any day now. It could happen this upcoming weekend, right?
I think actually there's a game. I think they're playing this week.
They're doing
midweek game.
Midweek.
If they lose the midweek game, you're champions.
Okay.
And I know you'd probably prefer them not to lose.
Win it at home.
And so you can win it at Anfield in front of the fans. So we'll see. And we'll see what Arsenal does. You never know. And Ipswich didn't do you a favour because you could have wrapped it up last weekend if Ipswich had done something against Arsenal. But they got thrashed. And so good.
Yeah, we'll see. It would be super cool to get it this weekend, like at home. And that's when it's officially done. And
that's better. Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree. I don't want
confirmed.
to do it in front of my own fans, especially since last time you won it was COVID. You didn't have any fans in the stadium. It's going to mean a lot to the fans, and it'll be exciting to see. So good for Liverpool.
Oh yeah, super exciting. It's going to be crazy celebrations in Liverpool, like you said. And so coming off of the weekend games, Liverpool, it wasn't the most impressive performance against Leicester. At Leicester, they only won 1-0.
But boy, did you have some chances though. I mean, the number of corners and a number of chances, but yeah.
And then Trent Alexander-Arnold comes up with his first left foot goal?
First in his career professionally, left foot goal, he said. Yeah.
And he hit it really well.
He did. That was solid.
For his left foot. That was quite the finish. So he looked super excited. So it's still not 100% sure whether he's going to Madrid. So we'll see.
Yeah, he was really pumped. He ripped his shirt off.
Yeah.
Ran over to the Liverpool fans. They really cheered him on. And so it's nice to see. I mean, that could be his final goal for Liverpool, potentially. But, it was good to see. And unfortunately, poor Leicester was the second team to get relegated because of that.
Yeah, Leicester is officially done.
They're out. Yep.
They zigzagged because they went up, down, up, down.
Yes, they did.
Yeah. So they're done. And big news for Liverpool, though. We got Virgil van Dijk and Mohamed Salah both signing contracts, extended their contracts. So they're doing
have to be happy with
another
that.
2 years. Yeah. So very stoked. I expected Van Dijk to re-sign because I just wouldn't make any sense for him to leave. But the Salah one, I was definitely kind of skeptical.
Yeah, I was wondering if he would end up in Saudi just for the money. And not only the money for him, because he's Egyptian. He's, be much closer to his family there. But good to see. I mean, he's a loyal servant to Liverpool and a great player. So you have to be happy.
Oh, man. Yeah, he's going to go down as like one of the all-time greats for Liverpool. On track to probably win PFA Player of the Year because he's going to probably get the Golden Boot. He's also leading in assists.
Yep.
I know a lot of fans criticize him because there's some games where he just doesn't really show up. But just like any other player, he has his moments. But, I mean, he's just been so consistent throughout his career. So you can't really criticize him in that way.
And even in that game, I think he hit both posts on one shot. He curled it, classic left foot curler, inside of the post, bounced across the line, hit the other post, and came out. So he was close.
Yep, very close. So, but I'm super excited. Yeah, it seems like he really loves Liverpool. So I'm really glad he's gonna keep continuing to score for us, and he'll keep going up on that tally. It'll be really interesting to see how far he can get because I know he's in the top 10 right now for all-time Premier League scorers.
Yeah.
So he should be going up against like Wayne Rooney, Ronaldo, Alan Shearer. So he's going to be pushing for those records, which is cool.
I think he is. I mean, he really takes care of himself. He's super fit. He's healthy. I mean, he's got a lot more goals in him anyway. You can see it. After this season, how impressive he was. So
definitely. And then the part of his game that's massively improved is his passing and his vision.
Unbelievable.
It's crazy how good he is.
Crosses with the outside of his foot right into the stride of the player and just unbelievable assists. Yeah, he can spray the ball around like Trent, basically. So.
Yeah. He's going to be if we lose Trent, he'll probably be our best passer.
Yeah, I think so.
So, yeah, I'm really, really happy about that. And then, like you said, Ipswich got thrashed against Arsenal 4-0.
Davis had a red card, I think.
Yeah.
Took out Saka, and then I'll talk a little bit about my team.
Yeah, I was going to say, what happened with the London derby with Fulham Chelsea?
Didn't look impressive. We're down 1-0. Didn't look good. Cole Palmer's kind of all over the place. I mean, he just doesn't look confident. Had some shots and some moves, but not good. Not like he was. I don't know what happened to him. I thought he's going to have this little dip and he's going to come back, but he hasn't so far.
Nope.
And I thought we were going to lose that game. It was 1-0 late, and then I think it was George scored, and then Neto scored a great goal. It came across to him. I can't remember who passed it, but right just top of the penalty area, and he just pivoted perfectly and smashed it in. It was a really nice goal. So we got 3 points, so we're back in the mix for the Champions League again.
You're still in there, not quite there, but you're in the mix.
What, are you fifth or sixth now?
Yeah, I think you're fifth.
But what a race that is for the Champions League.
Oh yeah, it's crazy because I wanted to talk about how that top four race is going right now because we had two teams that are both going for that fourth spot as well. Aston Villa absolutely crushed Newcastle 4-1. I was not expecting that at all.
I thought that could have been a tie because they're both on form, but that was a big surprise.
Yeah, what happened with Newcastle? Because they're both been super informed teams, but to lose 4-1, that's crazy. They never concede that many goals. Like, what happened with that?
Yeah, I don't know what happened. It was at Villa, admittedly, but and Villa obviously was high from their victory over PSG at home, even though they got knocked out. And then Newcastle was on a good run too. But I know Eddie Howe's been out for 3 games now. I think he had pneumonia. So the assistant did a good job for the first couple of games, but not this game. So, it's not his fault.
No,
it's the players.
Yeah.
But that may be a contributor as well. But I don't know. It was surprising that it was going to be, it was that one-sided, that game. I thought that was going to be a really epic game between two informed teams, and it really wasn't. It was so one-sided. It was surprising.
Very surprising, and huge for Newcastle to lose because they were already in the top four. And if they would have even just tied that game, that would have, at least pushed them a little bit farther to safety in top four. Because right now it's ridiculously close. It's anyone's game. Newcastle is in fourth, but Forest also has to be careful. They're not even guaranteed anymore, because before it was like, okay, Forest looks like they're gonna for sure make it. They've slipped up too. So now they're still in third, but they only have 60 points.
Yeah.
And then right behind, Newcastle is on 59 in fourth. Man City is on 58 points in fifth.
And then it goes 57 like Chelsea.
Yep. Yeah. Chelsea and Aston Villa are both sitting on 57 in sixth and seventh.
It's close. And that's it, right? I mean, there's a drop off.
That's it. Yeah. And then it's Bournemouth, but a big drop off. So it's really, the race is between Nottingham Forest all the way down to Villa. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams are competing for 2 spots, basically.
I wish I had more confidence that Chelsea was going to be that fourth team, but I don't know. So unpredictable.
Honestly, yeah, because of Palmer, because you guys are so reliant on him, and he's really like the leader on your team and carries and can really create those moments, and he hasn't been that player this season. Yeah. So I'm worried for Chelsea. I don't know if they're going to do it, just because of how good everybody else has been.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy. And, even the Fulham game, a player I really like, Reece James, the captain, but many injuries. His error. I know he should have had some some help from his teammates telling him there's a player coming, but from behind he lost the ball and they scored. Just like that, bam, 1-0. So yeah, we got a lot of work to do. So we'll see. We're still in Europe, so maybe we'll get a trophy there, and that will not make up for not making the top four.
No.
But my dream is still to make that top four and also win the Conference League. I know it's the lowest one out of the European.
Not the most,
but I'll take a trophy.
Yeah,
nonetheless.
100%. So right now, with how the table's looking, who's your prediction for third and fourth? Because Liverpool and Arsenal are like pretty much guaranteed top two.
Locked right there. Yeah, I can't see that changing. Well, I'm not confident enough to say Chelsea's going to be third, but I'm confident enough to say Chelsea's going to finish fourth. And so I know
who's going to be third then?
The third?
Are you leaving Forest, or do you think someone else is going to step up and take over?
I hope it's not Man City, because
it's very possible. It's very possible.
But it probably will be.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's not Man City. I would like to see, if Chelsea can finish fourth, that's all I'm dreaming for. That other spot, that's wide open, but I'd like to see Villa, honestly. I don't want to see City because I can't stand them, and I want them to have a humbling year and not win anything. As it stands, they could make Champions League and win the FA Cup, which would be horrible, but we'll see. So I've got, Liverpool, Arsenal, and I'll just throw the dice there and say Villa, because I like how they're playing, and then Chelsea. So there's my top four. What about you?
Villa and Chelsea are your two?
Yep.
And City doesn't make it.
I know they probably will, but I don't want them to.
Okay.
I'm gonna say.
That's okay. I like the optimism. I don't know if I would agree. I mean, I would love to see City not make it. That is my dream still.
Yes, me too.
But just with how inconsistent Chelsea's been playing, I don't think
it's a long shot. I know.
Yeah.
So who's your top four?
Yeah, it's tough, because before I was very certain that Forest was going to be in there.
There's no guarantee on them now.
But now I don't know. They haven't been quite the team. They had 2 losses out of the last 3 games. So they've slipped up a little bit in their form. So I'm hesitant on them. I think Pep and City, just how they are, they're going to do it. Yeah. So I don't know if they're going to make it all the way to third, but they're going to make top 4. So I'm going to put City in there, and then I have a feeling for some reason that Forest is just going to slip up and they're not going to make top 4 anymore. So I'm going to take them out, and then
so City and who?
I think it's between Villa and Newcastle, just with how good they've been.
Yeah, they definitely got better form than Chelsea right now.
So yeah, I'm going to say Man City, and then I want Villa. I don't really like Newcastle. I think Newcastle is very even with Villa, even though they just got killed by Villa. But just how Villa played in the Champions League, they handled Newcastle really well. I'm going to put Villa, even though right now Villa's sitting in 7th. I'm going to go Villa City for the top 4.
We'll see that. Not too many games to go now before we find out, right?
Yeah, we only got about a little over a month left, which is crazy. So Yeah, super exciting for that top 4 race. The bottom 3 is kind of not very exciting. Some years it's like, you got that fight for the bottom to survive, but not really
Well,
this year.
It's done deal.
Yeah.
And Wolves won again. So Wolves, and who did Wolves beat? Man United.
We've been, trash talking them, but Man United fans, they can't really back up Man U right now because there's nothing to say.
I know you're going to say, well, hey, we're in the Europa League and we came back, but that was a crazy game. That could have gone either way. What was it, 5-4 in the end? It was ridiculous. And Harry Maguire scores the winner in overtime. And so, I don't know. And then they go and lose to Wolves. And so Wolves on a coup. I think they run 5 games in a row.
Wolves they've stepped it up a lot.
So there's no one's going to get relegated but Ipswich. It's just a question of when. And I don't know.
It could be this
weekend, maybe? This weekend, probably. But so that's a shame. But, we'll see what happens. And so, the 3 promoted teams are going down. So that's becoming a trend, unfortunately.
Maybe next year it'll change. Maybe Wrexham will get promoted, and then once Wrexham gets the Premier League, they'll break that
4 in a row.
That would be insane. But
I don't think that's ever happened.
No way, that's never happened. But the top 4 race is super exciting. So still lots to go with that. And then in La Liga, we had Barcelona and Real Madrid both win. Barcelona won 4-3.
That was a crazy game. Back and forth. But that was surprising. I mean, I didn't expect it to be that close. I thought Barcelona would win that game handily, but 4-3. That was a surprise.
Real Madrid ended up winning.
They played on Sunday and they won, I think, 1-0. Barely, so not great. And then Atletico Madrid, they slipped.
They lost. It's over between them.
So now it's between Real Madrid and Barcelona, and I'm putting my money on Barcelona.
Yeah. I think, Barcelona right now, they have a 4-point lead. Their goal differential is so much better than Real Madrid. They're just way better defensively. I think they're going to do it. So there is a chance that Real Madrid comes out of this season with 0 silverware, which would be so nice to say.
I'd be happy with that. If I could get Man City and Real Madrid to have nothing, I would be very happy.
Yes. I think a lot of fans would be very excited about that. The Copa del Rey is this next weekend upcoming.
Let's go Barcelona.
Yeah, we're rooting for Barcelona, so I'm excited for that game. Barcelona hopefully wins the league as well. And then Champions League, I'm not going to be rooting for Barcelona, but they're probably going to make the final. We'll see. But lots of going on with La Liga and the Barcelona-Real Madrid rivalry, so we'll see with that. Did you have anything else to add on to La Liga or anything?
No, I think we were talking about this earlier about the big leagues in Europe, and so it looks like Inter's going to win. I think I'm predicting Inter for...
they should win.
Bayern Munich should win. So Harry Kane's going to finally get a team medal for playing his whole career and never winning anything other than individual awards. And then obviously Liverpool for the Premier League and Barcelona for La Liga. So that's my predictions. I think we kind of agreed on that.
Yeah.
Right? So...
Well,
see what happens.
One thing I wanted to add, because usually the Ballon d'Or race, you kind of have to win those big trophies. And, especially last year with like Vinny Jr. was up for it and didn't get it. But Real Madrid had a lot more success last year. So Real Madrid's knocked out. Him and Mbappe were obviously going to be in the run. Even Bellingham could have been in the run. But Real Madrid's out. Liverpool has been out for a while, and Salah was in the talks, and Liverpool is only going to win the league. So it's going to be interesting to see who's even in the contest for.
Dembele's had a good season.
True. So if PSG wins the Champions League, then there's a chance because he would have the league and Champions League.
Yeah, so that's going to put him in a good position.
But what if Arsenal takes out PSG? Then who's going to be in the Ballon d'Or? Like who's your forerunner for that?
So
Declan Rice?
Why not? I mean, English player, right? He's had a hell of a season, and there's 2 free kicks, and he basically shut down Bellingham when they played Real Madrid, and they had little moments there between the two of them during the game. But I wouldn't have a problem with that.
I think if Barcelona is able to succeed and make it to the final, maybe win the Champions League. So if Barcelona wins the Champions League and the La Liga and the Copa del Rey, then I think Lewandowski's going to win it because he's going to win like the Golden Boot for La Liga.
Yeah, I mean that's going to be an advantage. You get 3 trophies, right? And you've scored a ton of goals to help get those 3 trophies.
I don't think he's ever won it, right?
I'm not sure, but I don't think so.
He's been in the race, but I don't think he's ever won it. So he's getting towards the end of his career. So I mean that wouldn't be so bad. I feel like he deserves it. He's been a super consistent striker his entire career.
And Kane would have had a shot too, honestly. He's winning the Bundesliga. If they'd have won the Champions League and he kept scoring goals, he would have been in the mix.
True.
But now they're out of the Champions League, so that's not happening.
Yep. So it really comes down to who can win the Champions League.
I think so. That's going to determine it.
It'll really determine it. So that'll be interesting. But that pretty much wraps it up. Anything else to add?
No, I have nothing else. So.
Okay, well, it was fun, and then I'm excited for all these upcoming games, so we'll see what happens, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Yeah, we're back on our Sunday schedule next time, so
There
see
we
you
go.
next time.